Okay, welcome back to ANZCRL Combined Racing League's second session of the Le Mans 24 Hours. We are live, and in the commentary booth with me is Commander Cirrus and also Matty Seekin. Welcome, guys.
How you going, Woody? Hey, Matty.
Hello all.
So we have just started, guys, and both the leading two cars of the LMP-Hs and the GTEs have taken off. They have a time compression formula, so the next to go will be Weary Night here, and then 1 second later will be Slide Science, and then Dado Racer and the GTEs follow. So this is all based from the previous race results, and they've all got a time compression formula. So Lolux is now into the race, and the next two to wait will be both Logical Sports and Nürburgring of the GTEs, both waiting 40 seconds. And they should be about to go in 1 second time. Here they go.
Oh!
Nearly stalling his Nürburgring, but there they go.
I don't know if he jumped the start
there. What a first session, and here we go. Let's knuckle down for 2 hours of this one. We've got ×5 time progression, in-game time of 5 p.m, and this is going to run us all the way to 3 a.m. in the morning. So get comfy and let's get into it.
Ooh! Already the action is aplenty with Lolux having a look at Tetra Rouge on Dado, and Dado saying, no thanks, I'm trying to get that Porsche in front of me.
That's right. You know, the defending champion Dado is a hard racer, and what a run by Tim and Jack as well, his teammate, taking over from Metal Drive this year. And as you said, Matty, seriously, he definitely wants to stick with that Porsche and maybe get in front very early.
Well, that's right, and the battles haven't stopped from the last race. You can see Nürburgring and a Logical Sport starting on 40 seconds, and it's game on again straight away, 2 hours again. After coming together, yes. I think it was, at the Porsche curves. Is that right?
Well, no, we actually heard from both of them. Yeah, individual spins, but they end up just pointing together, and they both obviously hit the wall in their own individual spins. So,
I've missed it. He's already got Slide Science.
Yeah, nice and early. Slide Science, I think he's just trying to get to grips with that car nice and early on. He hasn't done much practice, so hopefully he can just keep it motoring on the black stuff and not find it off the track too often.
Yeah.
What a sensational lap time we did see from Dark Lord, though, in that qualifying session that he did. He did a one of the fastest times we ever seen out of the Porsche. I think it was a 55 or 54, was it? Or 50, or something like that.
I think it was a low 54. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so, and then doing some great stuff during the race. So
just hope Slide Science, can keep it in a competitive position for Dark Lord, so his hard work can pay off. He's put a lot of time in that car. It looked like Thursday practice he might have been struggling, but he found the pace overnight for the night session, and he's carried it on into session 1.
Yeah, and as you can see, some of the fuel loads for all the viewers may be looking is they're going to be all different fuel loads because it's based on what they finished on in the previous hour session that they've just done. So they're all going to have varied fuel levels, so it's a bit of a strategy play for some of the drivers, but most of the GTE cars all came the opportunity with the 2 minutes remaining to come and fill up. But we have got varying fuel levels in the LMP-Hs a little bit. As Lolux is caught Jetto in the...
Your
patience is the key through there.
Yeah, obviously he doesn't want to hold off too long, but this is usually the spot that you normally see him overtake, isn't it, when they do the lap cars?
I don't think you'd be able to do that later in the session. Their tyres are all brand new at the moment and they have grip, but I tell you what, after a few laps it struggles for those those GTEs struggle to hold that inside line and start wandering out, getting sideways.
Yeah, exactly right. But these two guys look like they're going to try and work together and try and get a good draft to try and bridge that gap. They've already bridged their gap towards Slide Science quite a bit. There was a 22-second gap between both those guys to him off the start. So they're going to not too bad. Aiming to see the back of the Porsche in maybe a lap or so, if depending on their different paces.
It's very tough for the GTs this year. Like, everything's different. The pace has been turned up a notch. The track temperature's also been turned up a notch. It's just all you gotta, when you combine the two, trying to push that car harder on track conditions that aren't quite ideal, and the soft tyres, they give up quite easily around here after a few laps. It's very challenging, and they've all what's the word I'm looking for? They've all stepped up to the plate, all doing a fantastic job. Each car out here is capable of winning this race.
Oh, they definitely do. They've been running. They did an extra lap over what we saw last year, so they finished on 16 laps. The leaders of the LMPHs did 18 laps, but the GTEs were 2 laps down on 16. But previous years they've only made 15 laps, so they've definitely picked up the pace. And
someone's hit that bollard.
Yeah, saw that.
Someone's gone hot through Tetra Rouge by the looks of it.
Yeah, those bollards don't last long. And how did you find everything though, Matty? We've got obviously Matty seeking the car that's currently second, the number 7 P51 Sim Sports Audi R18. How did you find the traffic in that first session?
Traffic-wise, it was pretty good, to be honest. Just kept the communication up with the GTEs. Just patience is the key, to be honest. It's such a long race. The last thing you want to do is destroy your race and then destroy someone else's race at the same time. So, yeah, overtake where it's nice to do. Sit behind Porsche curves and just get them on out. So, I think I had more issues overtaking HUDs than I did with any of the GTEs. So.
Yeah, I guess they are more even pace, both in the same class, and Huds is he's a tough customer when he wants to be too. He parks the car in the right spot all the time.
Yeah, definitely. That Toyota seemed to have a lot of mid-corner grip, and we had the top line speed on him, and we just couldn't get close enough to utilise it.
Darky's got himself a time penalty already, as he posts a 3:24 for his first flying lap. I think Weary's gained time here.
He is.
There you go.
16 seconds at the start.
Yeah, that's a big charge from Weary Knight early on with the 17. That's a pretty fast pace. We saw the lap record so far, not the lap record, the race time. That's just bettered the best time of Sato in the first session of a 3:17.344. So that 17.224 by Weary, the previous lap, has now been the fastest lap of this race.
Yeah, the car's got pace in it. We've just got to string a lap together. In 3.5 minute lap time, it's very easy to lose 10th here and there.
And so this is the man obviously helping us in the commentary booth, Commander Sirius's teammate, Illogical Sports, driving that number 100 P51 Sim Sports GT BMW M6 car. Doing a great job, Illogical. Unfortunately with that little incident earlier in that first session, but trading places for second for most of that race with Nürburger and Tim and Jack.
Yeah.
It's quite exciting, Sirius.
Yeah, I was listening to it in the car on my way to work, and I'm hearing Darky say, "Oh, they've made contact," and I'm like, "No!" But then I watched a little bit of it, and it wasn't too bad. But at the time, I was a bit like Jack Sparrow, like, "Stop blowing holes in my ship."
Oh dear.
Oh, they've just
side
science is just there. They must have made a mistake on that last lap.
Yeah. Have a look at the lap time there. Yeah.
Slides doing those 4:04s. It's usually that's sort of a really comfortable sort of pace by the Porsche. Normally a 4-minute lap is what you're aiming for in that Porsche.
Used to be. Now you got to be doing 56s. I think 56s.
Yeah, but in race part, I'm just saying with the Porsche, a general driver that gets to grips with the Porsche will probably do roughly a 4-minute time. So Slide's still got to find a little bit more, and it's all about the lines, turning in. He might be turning in too aggressive somewhere and getting to the rear end, stepping out on him a bit and all that. He's just got to calm down a little bit and relax, and hopefully that Porsche will work for him.
This track and these GT cars, it's all about finesse and having a flow rather than being hard on the car. You want to be smooth, you want to turn it in nicely, and you want the car set up to help you do so. Like through the Porsche curves, I heard in the first session you said they were dancing through there, and that's pretty much what it's like in the seat. You hold the wheels straight and the rear end's coming around doing all the work. But
Yeah, that's
in
right.
these hot conditions, that's what's killing rear tyres and making it more and more unstable as the stint goes on.
Yeah, so I guess you guys are really looking forward to this this afternoon, or not the afternoon, but the evening, then into the night, where the GT should really be a lot more comfortable with the track temperature that drops quite dramatically. It drops from about 42 degrees down into the low 20s, don't they?
I think it's the high 20s then, but it does.
Oh, it's about
That's
20.
in the window
Okay.
of prime conditions for the soft tyres. That's when I think you'll see the faster laps coming in. We've got Jetto and Datto, or pretty much all the faster drivers in the cars at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if they all get into the 54s this time around, maybe even the 53, break the outright lap record.
I just want to have a quick
Yeah, I
look
think
at
so.
Weary Knight's just done a 3:16.7.
Oh, he has too.
Wow. So there we go. So the
Oh, Nürburgring's run a little bit wide. BMW has got so much pace out of the corners, but it's such a beastie car. It doesn't really have the nice aero effect, or it has the big engine like the Aston Martin does, so it struggles a little bit on that straight. But in behind other cars, it's when it motors up to the back of them. As you can see, he's starting to get a bit closer now. 289 was our top speed without a tow. As you see, we're getting about 300 just there. Just caught.
yeah, and then you got to just.
Bloody-
Oh, he's got the rear ends
Oh.
locked up, but he's got back in nicely there, so that's all right. Logical should be able to get into the back of him here again. As
Sirius's
obviously,
heart goes into his
slide.
mouth.
I did. But look, you see
So here
the
they
time
go.
he's
Will
just
they,
getting it back again.
Nürburgring take the opportunity? It's a very hard area to overtake, but we did see him go side by side here with, I think it was Tim and Jack early in the race, Nürburgring.
Oh, this is going to get
I
interesting.
think it was actually with, might have even been a Logical. Oh, and
Oh.
Slide thought about diving it in a little bit further, but he backed off. Not what a Logical wants to do, as it looks like obviously Slide is just struggling through the curves here, and Nürburgring is just putting a little bit of a gap now on that BMW, being stuck behind the Porsche.
He's going to have him into the forward chicane, I think. Oh, even with a huge wiggle, he's got a good run out of there.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, Slide, I reckon, because he's missed all the practice sessions that we've run, and he's probably done some of his own private testing. He's had some family, he's been busy with family, but there's his best lap time, so he's down into a 4 minute now.
Look at the other GT cars. 55.7, 55.9, 55.9, 56.2 for a Logical.
Yeah.
There's nothing in it this year.
No, there isn't. There's nothing. There was a lot of a difference previous years, but they're just so close. Drivers are all basically the same. Been running together for quite a while now, so a lot of our drivers have all the same, similar abilities.
Oh no!
Oh no! As we just said, the Logical was. I think he grabbed the inside curb there as he was blinded a little bit by the Porsche in front of him. He may have just turned in a bit and got unsettled.
Oh, you can't be too greedy with that one. That's a race end of that corner if you get it wrong. Looks easy, but it's
a long lap around too if you got damage too. So your lap time can end up blowing out to a 5 minute or something like that. So, but yeah, getting back to the lap record as well. I was going to say when Matty mentioned about Weary Knight into the 16s, his next lap was a 16.9. So his first one was a 16.7, then a 16.9. The lap record's held by Sato 15 from last year, which was a 3:15.392. So, go check your world leaderboards of the Project Cars LMPH leaderboards, and I don't think you'll see too many in those 15s anyway. So,
No,
pretty
definitely.
fast out there.
That's pushing very hard.
And as we said, the previous session, he got the Porsche into a 16. So, unbelievable.
yeah. I don't,
3:17.344, but I think qualifying was a 3:16. I think qualifying. Yeah, 3:16.184. He almost got under the 16s for qualifying trim.
Yeah, definitely. That car's on rails at the moment. Wasn't going to compete pace-wise with it, but just sit there and capitalise on any small mistake that Sato made. I mean, it's a long track. It's very easy to make mistakes. It's a very precise track in parts, especially through Indianapolis and that whole complex.
Exactly, and also just another thing you've got to know, when you're only within that 4-10 seconds of one another, you can all of a sudden gain 4 seconds, just or even more. We've seen that when the cars get caught up with the GTEs lapping them. At a particular moment of the track, you just lose so much time.
Yeah, definitely. Patience is the key. It's a long race. You won't see any crazy moves until about 1 minute to go. If there's less than 1 second between the leaders, that's probably when you'll start seeing some crazy moves, but not this early on. Well, we hope not this early on.
So look how much that costs Illogical Sports now. Around this time here, we're sort of near both Slide Science and obviously Nürburgring, but he's now got Nürburgring about 9 seconds up the road. He's just hitting the Porsche curves now, Nürburgring. So also having that spin coming onto the main, onto what's it called?
His slides run wide.
Tetra
Rouge, yeah, has cost him hugely.
Ooh.
Risking it.
Oh, and here comes Darky. He's going to get held up a little bit here. Is he? Or he's going to be lucky he's going to catch him at the right time. He might have to stay behind. He's going to take the racing line here.
Oh, he's pushing. He knows that he had to get him through there, because if he got held up behind there, that's a lot of time he's going to give to Weary Knight.
There's Weary there coming in.
Be interesting to see the lap times between the two. Looks like it's a shootout at the moment.
Where he caught
3 seconds that
where
lap.
he caught the GTEs, it cost actually Darky actually a second to what he did the previous lap. So that's how much you can lose just in that little area. If you get caught behind him at the start of the Porsche curves, as I said,
although Weary's going to get
seconds.
stuck here, he's going to lose more time than Darky did, I think. I doubt. Oh my! He took both into one. There you go. Didn't lose as much, and that's cost slide. Oh no!
Oh, there's Illogical's just got to bide his time. He can't afford to be running off again. It's a 2-hour race, but you don't want to start giving away your opposition too many leg ups.
That's right. That's right. I told him, don't worry about trying to close the gap. Just try and maintain it. That's what I told him.
Yeah, for those who know, that's exactly what we do here at ANZ Combined Racing League. We've got a time compression for all our big special events that we run. And here he goes, makes a nice clean move before he reaches the first chicane.
I'm having a little bit of a blonde moment there, Sirius, but what's the engine in there?
We've got...
Who's that?
That was one of the LMPHs
That's
actually get going. I think that was...
That's Nürburgring.
Was it?
Here he is.
It's Nürburgring. So now they're going to work together like they were doing earlier, but Nürburgring's given away the 10-second lead that he had over Illogical.
30 seconds to Dado.
Start the draft train.
Maybe we just have a look to see if he's got any damage, Nürburgring. See if he looks like he's hit the wall. I don't think he did.
There's not a lot of grip coming out.
Oh, what's he doing?
Here comes Slide. Oh, he's locked the weirs. Came in too hot.
I saw him pull out and...
There he goes. Takes the curb out, the bollard.
Don't need that anymore.
No. It looks like he carefully pushed it off the track as well, so it's not going to affect other cars coming on through.
I was going to say, he was next to
front.
Oh, there is a bit of damage.
Yeah, definitely.
Nürburgring.
May have lost it on the exit of that second coming out of the chicanes. The chicanes don't have a lot of grip.
We'll see it coming out of Arnage. I think this might be a good one.
Yeah, you'll see it here. It definitely looks like a little dink in the car.
Left front there, yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't have suspension damage, but it's being one of the front of the GT field. Dado's pulled another half second out of Jetto.
Yeah, so Dado's doing a good job there now at the moment.
17 seconds.
May there have been contact with Weary Knight with Nürburgring, perhaps?
Oh. Last year they sat behind every time, but this year...
They're pushing
they're on a
hard
mission.
at the moment. They're on a mission. Yeah, that's it. We've got Weary coming on through too. But Dado's obviously just off. He started about 18 seconds off from Jetto of the number 60 RFH, and he's roughly that again behind. So he's doing a good job. Oh, we're going to get out early. We've got a time compression formula, so that's all you need to do is just keep running your consistent times, and if you can hold what you started at, or even improve, you're going to get closer and closer to the guy in front.
I'd be interested to see the moment if Weary had a moment with Nürburgring there, to be honest, because that gap did blow out around there. So there could have possibly been some contact between the two.
Yeah, well, you might be right too, because all those LMPH's cars, they're all in the those 20s, 22s, 21s, and they have been a little bit faster than that. So I'd say a couple of those GTEs obviously were in their way on that previous lap, and Nürburgring may have just got a little bit a close call there.
Yeah,
with one of them trying to push on through. Another thing that can happen too sometimes with the GTEs as well, or any car, as slides come into the pits, because he's actually put a big dent into that Porsche. So he's going to take that pit early on.
Fill her up.
And we've got no, as Darky likes to say, Dark Racing 40, the Predator wear. There's no Predator wear here at the moment. And so this is fair income.
Full tank going in it, 95 litres.
Looks like Darky's got past Jetto at the second chicane on the little dots.
So look at Weary now. He's only that three and a bit seconds behind Darky.
Is he gonna look down the inside? He might throw it out. Jetto runs it a little bit tight. It's allowed to do that.
So that
might have thought that dive bomb might have been a bit too much, so
the wheel spin from the curves.
That's right, yeah. And that's Jetto down one lap for the first time in this 2-hour session. As the shadows start to creep on over the road.
So it's about 1 hour every 12 minutes. So we're coming on about 2 hours now, so about 7 p.m. Local time.
Obviously the Northern Hemisphere, they have in the summertime, they have long days.
That's right, the sun's well and truly
nights.
up. Dark cloud.
Smoke signals from the curves.
But obviously with that Porsche with slide science, there's just needs to just try and knuckle down, and then hopefully you can just get in that groove, all important groove. Enjoy the sunset and into the night. It's always a great feature in the game. Everyone comments how nice it looks. Sometimes it actually distracts you from your driving.
Dark Lord was a bit concerned about the amount of practice Slide Science had, and as of last night he hadn't had any, as I know of. But yeah, I don't know.
These things happen, but maybe Lolux, maybe Dark Lord might be able to run the 2 sessions tomorrow. I'm not too sure what their setup is in that team. Obviously, there's as long as Slide can keep going around and get a decent time and use the time compression, and then as we know, Dark Lord's got the pace, and in that 3rd session he can each the gap down and then get the time compression again for the final hour.
That's it. It's not over until it's over. Look at
last total of 6 hours of racing. We've already had 1 hour, and we're into 25 minutes into this 2-hour session.
Yep. Do you see Weary Night, the gap now, 1.5 seconds to Darky will be the first. Oh no, I was gonna say first lead change for the race, but that actually happened on lap 1 of the race with Matty and Sato having a bit of a dice. But the Porsche's led the race since then.
It almost goes quiet as the last of the LMPHs go by. There's nothing behind them. It's very peaceful. Yeah, so they're getting close that they're going to have to pit. Well, Darky's going to definitely pit this lap, and Weary Knight will be able to move on for one more lap, maybe two, in the Audi. Yeah, I'd say that unless Weary wants to just follow what they're doing, the Porsche team, that's what they could come in together. Ooh. Looked like that rear tyre was really screaming blue murder of Darkies coming up into Indianapolis. And out of Arnage there, he really was trying to get that power on. Well, the thing is that they only going to, a full tank's what, about 40, we say I think it's about 45 minutes roughly. The track's going to be starting to cool down, so it's probably be wise maybe just to keep the tyres on and just do fuel. So there you go. There's the answer. Weary Knight staying out for another one. So here comes. Yeah, there's some time to be gained to try and bounce over those curves as best you can. It looks like, I don't know if he's doing two tyres. No, just the fuel. And obviously Huds is another one that we've got to think of. I think he'll be able to do another couple of laps. He's got plenty of fuel there. I mean, not Huds, Lowlux, sorry. But he's going... Oh, they're definitely in it. These, when you think about it too, he's going to come out probably just in front of Darky. Darky should be moving from pit lane shortly. There he goes. So that was just fuel only, I'd say. There he goes. And there's Lowlux just in the distance. So that's the perfect pit stop by the Porsche racing team. They've got out in front of the leading GTE car of Jetto. They've timed that to perfection. Was it timing to perfection or a little bit of luck, Cirrus? Ha ha ha. Oh, it's so important, exactly. So it's going to be good to see this lap by Darky to see what he can pull out if he can stay in front of Weary Knight, as Nürburger is now into the pits. He's got some damage. Oh, that's the damage that we saw earlier, so I don't think... Oh, he's a bit on the right-hand side as well. No, I think I mentioned that too, Cirrus, yeah. Yeah. The only thing I can think of is, as you know, sometimes when you have that damage, you just, you know, you're a bit rattled and trying and change the things on the fly sometimes, and you're trying to get in the pits, you just don't get the settings saved or done right, or you lose your way in the navigation of the menus. It's easy to do. So here comes Weary, so he looks like he's going to stay on the same set of tyres as well. And Darky's just gone through the end of Sector 2 and into the Porsche curves.
Only got 2/10.
I think you guys might need to tick your audio again, I think, for some reason. Have I been talking to Ghost, have I?
Mine's ticked, mate. Don't know. I checked twice to make sure. Sucks how we went half an hour without someone telling me. Alright. Anyway, Darky's come out of Weary.
Yeah, so that's holding on to the same sort of position there. Just gained a little bit more, I think about 3 seconds. Oh, the gap, no, it's about two seconds again, so it's roughly the same.
Yeah, it's about pretty much
and
the same.
Lolux has stayed out, so he's going to do one more lap by the looks of it. He's going to be on fumes at the end. No, he's still got enough, 5 litres, that's more than enough for the Toyota.
Yeah, he'll be in this lap.
And this is the good thing about endurance racing too. It's just the fight never ends. You know, you're just chasing your tail all the time. So it looks like through the comments here, Cirrus and Maddie, I think we can hear you guys now through the channel.
Oh, I even double checked. Anyway.
Oh, the beautiful things. Maybe it was ticked and then the stream started and then it unticked itself, who knows. But that's the joys of technology.
Dato's just put in a 3:54.6, which if I'm not mistaken is the fastest lap of the race in the GT class so far. 7/10 off the lap record.
Yeah, he's very close to that. I think you could be correct. The 54.923 was the time by the P51 Sim Sport guys in the BMW in the previous session. So he's now on the charge. He started 18 seconds behind Jetto and now he's bridged that down to around the 15. So really settling in now, Datto. Any of those early nerves and jitters have all left him.
Tim and Jack did a great job in that first session to put Datto in that position he's in.
Oh, definitely.
Well, the top three, you could give credit to, really. But Dark Lord and Jetto, they all had brilliant races.
But the senior statesman,
He's made a
the senior
bit of an error there.
Statesman, I was just going to say, this is the time that he loves. He loves the happy hour. He loves the sun starting to set. It's where he really unwinds a little bit and he gets the cheese out and a bit of a red wine. So 2 for 1 deal, that's exactly right. And in the sim racing thing with the cars, he always comments how good it looks this time of the evening.
Ooh. Get nervous when I see cars touch the grass in the Porsche curves. But yeah, Weary's lost a few seconds this lap. Was back to 6 seconds before, but he's gained a bit of time as Starkey looks like he was held up a bit by the Porsche.
Yeah, it could be just also the full tanks and all that, and the tyres are still obviously the older tyres. They didn't change the tyres, so here comes Lolux.
1.1 litres left. What an awesome sounding car this Toyota is. It's a screamer.
Is that,
it's
is
like
that
a
better
Formula 1
now,
engine, isn't it? So we'll soon find out if we can actually hear Matty. But
Yeah, mine's
obviously
unticked
something's
itself
going
again.
on there. Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Should I check
Never
mine?
knew that they could do that inside. So I'm sure that we'll have the people watching the stream. If you can comment, if you end up can't hear him, someone just let us know. And in the first session, we had a great lap on board of the defending champions in the number 48 Besman race in Aston Martin as well, and it was sensational. Without no commentary, just sat on top of the on the roof cams of the car, and it was a nice lap as well.
Fuel's done, but still sitting there. Looks like he's doing tyres.
There we go. Could even be a little bit of damage as well if you had engine damage, maybe.
Yeah, the car looks. Look at the 51 degrees. It's not hot. You should be hotter than that, even if it's been sitting in the pits for a while. Here comes Dado. Hopefully, they use the blend line. Sweeps through past the right.
This is going to hold low lux up just a tiny bit, but he should be able to blast through him up through if he doesn't gas too early and spin it.
That's it. Oh, that was nice of Dado.
This is where Sato had a big moment in the first session, trying to go through there and went straight across the scene and almost into the barriers.
I didn't see what happened there, but it looked like the two GT cars were battling hard.
I thought Sato's teammate of my fellow commentator, Dark Racing 40, was going to go quiet for a while, but he held on to it. So, yeah, it was pretty close.
Yeah, I saw that replay and I was very thankful that I decided to pit very early. I wanted none of that.
So Dado Racer lost about a second there in that exchange.
Yeah, okay.
He was about low 14s before, though the gaps stretch when they're on the Mulsanne straight, so it's kind of hard to get a good gauge. You can see it's just climbing and climbing and climbing at the moment. Back up to 16 again.
It starts getting a little bit of pace going and then it will even itself out.
That's it, and then Jetto's on the brakes at the other end now, and you can see it's come back down.
Yeah, there's definitely three things certain that in life, and that's death taxes and the timing board going haywire on the Mulsanne
around
straight.
the outside of the Porsche curves again goes Weary Night.
Oh, you can see he had to brake or downshift or something, and he was about to run off the track. You don't want to hit that outside curve. That's a race ender, that one.
Tell you what, this evening session is starting to bring out the devil of some of these LMP8 drivers. They're risking it nice and early.
Is it a full moon or something?
Oh, we'll soon see once it goes dark, but yeah, just don't know.
So I'm a couple seconds behind. I almost cry when I see that. F in chat.
Watching Nurburger at the moment. 58.1 on the last lap and ran wide to avoid contact with the Audi.
The car, we like to say that, oh no, it's not actually a Ferrari.
It does look like one at first glance, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then that gives it away straight away when you see the rear end of it.
That's it.
So what you're looking at
it's
is
a
actually
Ford.
the car that was built to beat Ferrari. It's a Ford that looks like one. It's
Well, that's the thing. Ferrari couldn't run in this race, so they let Ford buy them finally and put them on their car.
Run the Testarossa red.
Instead of Ford versus Ferrari, it's Ford and Ferrari being represented.
So I wonder what all what are all the drivers, what will they be having for dinner tonight, you reckon, in the garages here?
Oh, my dinner
Sausage Sanger, or would they be some bagels, or what?
Nah.
More French?
Nah, straight to KFC France and straight to
KFC,
the ultimate
yeah.
zinger box.
I'm having a bit of
They're not fried frog legs, eh?
Bit of couple snails, the nice Bordeaux blend.
having a bit of Italian tonight. I just came back from work just before this started up, so I wasn't actually at the track for the race start. Still in Australia, so flown in, got the late flight, and missed drive. I paid the fine for missing driver's briefing, but whatever. Yeah, I got some dinner in the team BMW. Oh, sorry, the P51 Sim Sports fridge. Can't eat that, obviously. I'm in the box, but I'll be in my stomach by the time I jump in the car.
So currently that P51 Sim Sports BMW is in third in class, so they're not doing a bad job whatsoever after starting at the rear of the grid, and maintaining a pretty healthy gap actually to Dado Racer.
He's just done his fastest lap of this session so far, 3:55.8, and the fastest GT car this particular lap. I noticed Jetto was about half a second off his fastest lap when he crossed the line just before as well. It's got a minute.
Doesn't this car look good at this time?
I know.
With the lights on, the black and the setting sun.
I love the yellow lights at the front of it. When it's just like, they're just contrasting colours, just stands out. Looks mean. That's why I picked it.
I thought he was going to run with his lights off and become a moving chicane for everyone.
Yeah, it could just be a surprise, couldn't it? It could just be what's that?
Except when he brakes. Gives it
This is the bird of the plate now. It's a jetpack beam with the lights off.
So you're watching the ANZCRL Combined Racing Leagues 2021 running of the Le Mans 24 Hours. I'm your host Woody Lizard, and in the commentary we have Commander Cirrus and also Matty Seeking, and we're going to take you all the way through till 3 a.m. in the morning here. We've got that simulated time. We've got an hour 18 remaining at ×5 time progression. The sun's just starting to set now. Going to start getting into their eyes as they head down the other end of the circuit, especially into Indianapolis. That's a tough one, isn't it, guys?
Oh, in the afternoon sun, you cannot see the entry. It's who's near it now? Oh, it's already past the
We've just missed
Yeah.
It seems to be dropping already, has it?
It's too late. It seems to be too late in the day. But maybe going into the Porsche chicane, Porsche S's. What do you call it? Porsche curves. Might still be up high enough.
It's just on the edge there, but yeah, I think you're right. We're going to catch it.
Yeah, definitely.
Right on board the class wing of the GT at the moment, Jetto 13. The RFH Chevrolet.
Number 60. Yep. He's half a tenth up this lap. See, the conditions are cooling. The times are getting faster. In 5th gear, I taught him that.
Just a comment from Hugs in regards to Low Lux. Low Lux is putting a 4:35. Is that his out lap or?
It's a 3:24 now.
Yeah. Looks at it. No. Just an out lap.
Oh, actually, he has crashed. He has. Sorry, I'm trying to find my button.
You think so, or was it? He did have a pit, so it could have been his out lap.
I thought I'll go back on onboard. The front left.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
If you look at the front left compared to the front right, you can see the nose is hanging up a bit.
Oh yeah, it is too. You're right.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
eyes there, Sato. I mean, Sato. Cirrus.
Jeez.
That's just because his toes are getting a little bit hot. He needs a little bit of airflow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's getting into night time. What are you talking about? It is getting cooler.
He probably pulled the wheel towards him, like the McLarens. The Mercedes, I mean.
The DAS system.
That just gives me a bit of air venting.
This is Steve Weary Nights. Found the back of Darky again.
Yeah, we know from past experiences in Session 1 that Audi doesn't like following closely behind. Maybe the Fuji Audi does, but definitely not this one.
That's right, and you're fully at maxed out. This is getting very close for the actual outright lead of the race between the two LMPHs of the Porsche and the Audi.
Sorry, I thought I saw someone going to the pits, but I was wrong. I was trying to find them.
Oh, mistakes happen, Cirrus. It's all good, man.
These things can happen as the witching hour.
Never put yourself down.
I think it was Illogical Sports they're catching. without looking. I think it was same as it's under a second now.
So Darky's just going to try and time it where he can. He's going to be getting him at the right moment here now.
Yeah, the Logical Sport stays left. Good option there. Oh,
And
Weary's lost a heap of time out of there.
I think he wanted to say hello to his fellow teammates in the GTE class. I mean, the GT class. Probably a couple of hand signals.
Sharing of the sandwiches.
Unless he's saving.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, you had croissant. I only had a sandwich.
Chicken and mayo sandwich.
So unless he's saving his curves for this straight, but no.
Actually, where he could be, yeah, you don't want to try. It's hard to really say because you lose so much time. I practiced around with that as well, and when you're with someone that knows how to run their curves all the time, lap after lap, and you think, oh, I'll just save it a bit and give a bit more of a squirt where they're going to run out, they're already gone though. You know, it's so hard to bridge that gap.
It was a cool
It's all
thing.
about getting that pace up really quick and early, I think.
That's right. And
Yeah, it's not about top speed, it's about acceleration out the corner.
best thing is, well, not saying, but we're seeing more of these cars this year in the ANZCRL Endurance Championship. We've done 2 rounds so far at the Hockenheimring and the Monza with the LMPH cars and the GT3 cars. These are a special event, obviously, so there's no championship points going on here, even though some of the drivers are in the same cars. Or Matty Seakin was running his number 7.
No, I was actually running number 8.
I'm pretty sure you're running 7, mate. Anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, so you don't even know.
I'm a
You're
grid
7.
mate.
You're 7. Zemo was signed up in his number 8, and we had Darky and Nürburger swap cars this one. But then eventually Nürburger running the GTE class. But going back to what I was saying, that Monza, me and Darky were having a battle, and it'd be 2.5 going into the chicane, the first chicane at Monza. And then it'd be half a second, I'm right up his bumper going through it, and then it blows out to 2 seconds on the next straight. It just seesaws in and out because of the curves and the braking.
Yeah, exactly. And the Audi, as we know, we heard from Darky in the first session, basically it only generates its curves through when it's the brake applications, whereas both the Toyota and the Porsche generates also on acceleration. As well as the braking.
That's just the Porsche. The Toyota only regenerates on the straight. I mean, on the brakes.
On the brakes. Yeah.
They
I
all
think
have...
it goes a little bit on acceleration because I remember running it last year. It does go up a little bit, but not as much as the Porsche.
I believe.
I think, from memory.
I believe they all have their advantage with the curves, and I believe one car has either a bit more curves available to them, or has more powerful curves available to them over the other two. I've got a feeling it's the Audi.
Yeah,
with
the Audi is...
It's either long, you
Nice
get
boost.
more time with it, or it's got more, it works better. But obviously, the Toyota has the curves deployed all 4 wheels, so it makes getting on the power. You can get on it early on the curves, and obviously the Porsche regenerates on the straight, which is that's advantage.
Yeah, and these drivers here, they're not paying much attention to the nice colours in the sky, the pinks and everything as it's getting darker now. They're getting closer and closer to one another. They'll be fighting the limited traction that they've got with the aero. All built for speed, these ones at Le Mans. They're just running up to Dado Racer in the second place car in the GTE class. And I think Darky's going to get him. Well, he's going to have to hold him. So Weary's nice is going to be right on him out of this chicane. Darky's not going to be able to make this move. That's a nice shot, isn't it? Where you can see straight down the Mills Lane straight.
When there's more cars on, you can see the headlights as well in the distance.
Yeah, exactly.
54.4 for Dado
Darky.
on his last lap. Sorry to butt in there, Goody.
That's all right. You're saying Darky taking a nice wide line entry into the Menage. I sorry, not a nudge, into the Mills Lane corner.
Here he comes. He's gaining. He's climbing. Under half a second now.
He's using all his curves that he can. He's going to have to try and pull it up though. Those ceramic disc brakes are screaming and screeching as he's trying to limit the, most braking force he can do without locking them up.
It's about to get hairy.
Right.
It's about to get hairy. I've just heard the rumbling sound of a Corvette down the road.
Yeah, so that's it. He's not that too far, as we know. Dado's just following around about that 12 seconds behind.
Wonder how much Weary will have. Oh, he's run wide. He's had to shift
Not
it
where
like
you want.
there. He had to shift to fourth to pull it up. Oh, look at Darky.
Porsche. This is getting close here. I think Weary should be able to get Jetto. This here, guys, they've been running for nearly an hour and it's still neck to neck between the two LMPH cars. Weary Knight had a deficit that he had to bridge at the start of the session. He had to wait 16 seconds, but he didn't take long to get that down within the 5-second mark. He hasn't been able to do anything to Darky. He led the race briefly while Darky pitted for fuel. And then Darky had a great outlap and was able to keep hold of that lead.
I reckon.
We see
He's run a little bit wide. He's had to swing it back the other way. I reckon down this straight.
I could imagine the P51 Sim Sport guys, both in the LMPH garage and the GT garage, are all anticipating a change of the lead very shortly. They've worked really hard together.
I thought you were about to say they'll start cheering, but we're both sitting here.
I'm here providing great feedback onto how the cars go with my huts of silence.
Oh, I just wish you could start letting everyone know we're about to see out your pick strategy.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Yeah, well, we played our hand early with the strategy. As we knew the time compression, we have a free pit stop.
Lead change. Lap 16.
He's trying to break the draft nice and early too. There he did a little bit of a weave.
And now Dark. Oh, sorry, had a bit of a testy there. Now Darky will have more curves to play with as it's regenerated some on that straight. You see Dado in the background and Jetto. No. Yellow lights.
Someone that name ends with a no.
That's right. That was a nice move though by Weary. You have to give it to him. He really planned that. He timed that perfect.
Yep.
But this is where the Porsche may have a little bit extra curves. You might be able to get him. You won't be able to make the move into Indianapolis. It's too hairy with these LMPHs. They work so hard. They're turning flat out, and then as soon as they exit, that right-hander there on the brakes for Indianapolis, the left-hander.
You have to, if you're going to overtake, you have to pray they don't go defensive because otherwise you're going to smash right into them. Oh, he's run deep.
Weary. He's just hit a little bit of grass, thrown that up into the Porsche window.
That's our tactics right there.
Dado,
bit of grass on the window.
54.3 for Dado last lap.
Oh, the times are tumbling there for the Aston Martin. These are the conditions that the Aston Martin's been screaming for. This is where they were strong last year in the night. Well, I think they were. I can't quite remember that we've had so many races in between.
Oh, the Porsche.
Investigation.
Here it is. Oh, that's ambitious. Can't believe Darky made it around there. IRL, that Porsche would have turned into the corner. Because why not? He had the line.
The difference in real life is though in the sim racing, they are all in their comms together, so they can talk to one another, let them know.
It's just so hairy because in real life, given that they don't have comms, I imagine they'd have more grip. Obviously, they feel every bump in the car, and they're professional drivers as well. That they can get away with going 2x2x2 through there if they wanted. But here, we're not professionals.
Thanks for the compliment.
We can't feel the car underneath our ass, and yeah, it's just sketchy.
He's
really risky.
coming in for his fuel. So just getting back to the Porsche too with slide science, he ran it last year as well. He ran a couple of sessions last year and brought it home in second. So in the GTE class, so he's definitely got the ability. He was doing 59s last year, so I think it's just going to take him time to get back into that. He's did a 58 there. I'm just seeing on the screens there, 3:58 that previous lap. So slide science in the Porsche, he's just taking himself a little bit of time to get in, so it could work out fairly well this night session for slide.
Logical Sports will be in.
Yeah,
No,
that's going to risk it.
We're over. We're finished. Oh, come on, mate.
He's going for an extra lap. He's going to be on fumes from what I've heard from, and that sigh of despair from the fellow teammate of Commander Cirrus is thinking that is risking it, that fuel level. I did hear about a 6.7 litres roughly they're using per lap, so he's going to have to be a bit of fuel saving on this lap.
I don't know about him, but I'm doing 6.9. And even a 6.7.
So could this, he's actually got the lead of the motor race. He's stayed out for a little bit of glory here at Logical Sports. But if I know Logical, which I do know really well, teammates in the V8 supercars, he knows how to manage. So I don't think anything's going to be too bad here. I think he'll run it out through here and just coast into the chicanes and see how that goes.
Well, I don't know if it was picked up in Indy, but about halfway through the race, he came into the pits with 0.1 of a litre, and I asked him about it, and he didn't know. He said,
well, he's so focused, so maybe
the end of Indy for him at around lap 100.
And this is endurance racing, your sim racing. You don't have a team spotter or someone to tell you about your fuel. Well, he would have had on his dash the fuel light coming on that shows that he needs to pit as well, probably flashing at him. So that's one thing that he maybe ignored or didn't see. And but the other thing is they've been running for just over an hour, or just under an hour now. So a bit of tiredness creeps in. And Starkey's run so wide on the exit of Porsche curve there.
These tyres must be almost gone.
Destroyed.
Or so he's going to quickly go on the pits.
Neither of them have been under the 20s for a long time.
So could it be an opportunity, though, Cirrus, or even Weary? Maybe talk to Weary because he's obviously his team, not Weary, I mean, Matty, Seeking. Would it be wise for the cars to actually, even though they got the fuel, come in for new tyres and fill them up, because they're not going to sit as long waiting for the fuel to go in either. And it might not hurt him that much. Overall, the lap time might come to him.
Look at him, he's clutching it. He's clutching it.
Yeah, he knows he's going to be short, so he's doing what he's got to do. But again, he's going to lose a little bit of time. Who was he battling behind him? Was it Nürburger, I think, was it?
Yeah, but he's already pitted, but this might make him come out after him. See, Nürburger's that white dot on the Mulsanne straight, just in front of the two LMPH leaders.
Yeah, right. Okay, so it's going to be costly this. Because he's not getting the top speed either, because as you said, he's in lean now.
Yeah, back to your tyre question there though, Woody, is yeah, it's definitely a factor, the fresh tyres. Probably more so on the Porsche than probably the Audi, considering how restricted we are with stops.
I missed this, but Jato's gained a load of time on Jato.
Yeah, we've just got a feedback from the Besmont crew, and that's what they're saying. Roughly 10 seconds in the pit stop he's made.
Sorry, Tim. I've been worried about my own car. As these boys were not far away from getting to him.
It's good to see the passion, though, from all our drivers here, and even our commentary team, who's obviously driving as well in this event. It means a lot. It's one of our most anticipated races throughout the year, the Le Mans 24 Hours. It's something you want to be on the history books as winning it. either outright or the GTE class. He's going to get there though, seriously.
He's
I don't
gonna
know,
he's
I
gonna
wouldn't
get there,
worry.
but
He's clutched it now, he's rolling it in, but he shouldn't have to really worry about it, he'll get in.
So we're back under
He
the.
doesn't have to take those chicanes.
Back under the 320s as well with Weary Knight.
And he doesn't. Oh no, he does. He made the chicanes through there. He's been professional about it. Sorry, Matty.
That's all good. We're back into 3. The cooler temperatures help the tyres as well. So especially through the day, I know Sato and myself had a bit of wheel shake
Okay.
about 40 minutes in, but your track temperature's hot here. Cooled down. The Audi doesn't seem too bad on tyres. So
will
If
the
I-
GTE, make tyres? We're talking tyres. Will they take tyres? They should be
they
taking
will
tyres, shouldn't
definitely take tyres.
They'll be definitely, yeah.
Doesn't that car look good even under the lights in the pit bay?
It does. I just like the little fog lights down the bottom too, even though they're not fog lights on this particular car. They're more high beams, but it just looks. I just love it.
We get it, you love it. So Weary Knight, what's the lead he's got now? About 4 seconds over Dark Racing 40, and Low Lux is roughly a minute 45 or so behind that.
Yep.
So
This is the closest battle on the track right now. Jetto versus Dado, but Nürburgring's about to come. I know it was close, but it's still back on between these two.
about 9 seconds there, the gap. So Nürburgring would be happy to see that. Something to chase. Just on the hour mark remaining, just under an hour.
Jetto, you can see there in their outlaps, look, 10 seconds like Tim said. I wonder if Jetto had a bit of a spin.
Could have done. So obviously on his outlap he's been very slow, unless he had some engine damage as well, which was being repaired in the pit stop, which made it a little bit longer.
Maybe. It's running at 108 right now, so I imagine that would have been hotter before as well. Stato showing why he's a champion of this race. If you remember last year, he did the same thing. He came back, although the gap wasn't 18 seconds, it was 8 seconds that he had to me, and he actually overtook me for a couple of corners before he spun out in front of me and had to chase that 8 seconds back all over again. Look at those headlights on that Aston. How recognisable.
Yeah, they centre middle ones, so that's right. I was just trying to look back at the records of all there from last year. There was a very entertaining race throughout all the classes. It ended up blowing out in the end, but geez, during sessions 2 and 3 it was on.
It was. Unfortunately, disconnect for myself and Jetto cost us, and then in session 4 Weary Knight had the lead of the race. Dado was 30 seconds back and he disconnected, costing him and Gear 3 Gaming a chance at victory.
That's right.
Oh, sorry, I went to the wrong car.
So you were predicting these times to tumble. Was Dado's doing a 54 that previous lap?
Although Jetto's new tyres on, he's pulling that gap out a little bit. Was it under 3 seconds before? Now it's just under 4 seconds. See what their first full lap is. Good shot there of the cars going through both the right-handers at the same time.
That's right, through the 4 chicanes there, and on for another lap.
3/10 the difference on that lap between the two of them.
Yeah, there's nothing in it, is it?
And unfortunately,
Competitive.
that's the
Someone's just
Porsche
coming out of
lap
the pits
down.
there. Is it lap down? But that's all right. With the time compression's going to help them. It's not the end of the race for these guys.
All Weary
Oh,
Knight.
he's balked Weary. Weary wouldn't like that. That's going to give Dado a little. Dark Racing.
Yeah, they're starting to trade lap times again.
Where's Darky going to catch Slide? That's the thing.
You might have to sit behind him behind Mulsanne, I think.
Yeah,
Over Tetra Rouge. He's run completely off.
He's ran wide to give him that freedom of the Porsche. The two Porsche teams working together there in different class. Where he makes the light work.
Don't think he'll get the Corvette this time. Slots in between them. See how bright that is.
Find it hard to keep up with Weary, isn't he, at the moment?
He is. But he'll have in the back of his mind, he knows that Audi has to stop twice, stop more times than he does. See, there's only 9 litres left on Darky's Porsche.
Yeah, they're burning roughly 4.6 litres a lap.
So you can see why Weary and Matty as well, it goes back to him, why he put an extra lap on in the early stages, in the early session. And that's going to help Weary Knight in the long run.
So we pretty much started with the same amount of fuel. It's just the out being a small tank.
This is unscheduled, yeah.
A bit nicer.
Could be that damage that you're talking. If it's front end damage, it can actually drop their top end speed. So, as I said, he might just go not tyres, fuel. He's not going to stop as long. Still full tanks for the fuel. And then they are able to squeeze out a few quicker laps with the fresh tyres.
Watch the Corvette come into here.
There's a case of an undercut here.
No, not this time. Sometimes flame shootout when you downshift into here.
Some nice big flames coming out of the Corvette. That's what we want to see, but not that time. Maybe here. No.
Just remember, he's run a little bit too deep there to lift off the throttle for a moment.
As it's starting to get dark now here at Le Mans. It's where the drivers now really like to have, hopefully in their sim rooms, the lights down low or no lights at all, and really get involved, get the immersion happening in this race.
That's one thing you don't want, that's a bit of glare on the screen.
Oh.
That's it, and you look out the window, it's night time here in Australia as well for most of us eastern state people.
I had to lift off mid-corner there. A bit too fast on the way in. You really need to apex those last 2 corners. Keep it right through that long right-hander. Not let it drift out to the middle, because then you'll have to lift.
This is looking very good to just keep running these two. They just seem to be so comfortable with the lap times that they're doing.
That's it. There was only a 10th different that time for Jetto, but he's pulled more time on Dado that lap. It's out to just over 4 seconds.
Yeah. That won't worry Dado though, and Jetto will just be comfortable in that pace he's doing. Yeah, the fastest cars of the GTs on the road at the moment.
They're also the fastest 2 cars in practice. We saw Nürburgring get up there, but Jetto set a time on. It's the day practice too, the 53.9 and the 53.8 the next day. So he's been consistently quick. Colonel Lloyd has got a bit of a question mark over him. Is he foxing? Is he really struggling with that car? We'll find out.
Well, that's one of those things I've been quite surprised during some of the unofficial practice that we did and all that with Lloydie's times. I'm thinking surely he's got some more out of that.
He hasn't sipped the special sauce yet.
Aha, that's it. A special burger sauce. So 50 minutes remaining.
We'll go through.
And we'll be then halfway in this race.
I think you'll see both of them pit this lap.
Oh, Darky, yeah, he's got enough there to get there as Weary Knight. As you know, the Audi is a diesel, doesn't use as much fuel. And the tank's not as big, I don't think, either.
Yeah, cheaper at the Bowser.
Cheaper at the Bowser, especially at Le Mans. But on race week, it's triple the price.
That's it. The servos around Circuit de la Sarthe hiked up their prices, so have the hotels and so have the restaurants.
They're all about
WEC.
fair consumerism.
ANZCRL are in town.
That's it, the boys from Australia are here. So let's see how they go. We might as well keep an stay on this and see them both in the pits and see if there's any mistakes from them in the pit stops or anything like that. Because we do know if you have engine damage and you've selected to fix engine damage, there can be a little moment where they say there's a little issue with the engine and all that sort of stuff. Pit stop errors is actually turned off, but if there's a little issue with an engine, sometimes that little thing can hold you up a little bit.
Well, I expect Weary to actually gain some more time in this stop, considering he's got 13 less litres to put in. However, Darky has an extra 2 in there already, so that will help him a
Yeah,
little bit.
high flow diesel, mate. It's going to go
That's
in
it.
quick.
High flow.
Truck
Here they
Bowsers.
go. As Darky comes flying into and negotiates the chicane in the pit entry perfect. And, oh, look, he's gained heaps of time, I think.
On the way in.
I
reckon he has too.
As long as he didn't pick up a penalty.
2
We'll know if he got a
seconds.
penalty because it'll be over 10 seconds or so if he came in too hot.
You see both cars in that frame. That little top bit's just cutting out Darky, but we'll see who leaves first.
It's just the little things that Darky does makes him so much of a threat.
That's right.
He's not always the fastest, but he's always the most consistent.
So they get the tyres on, as even though that the tyremen seem to be having a stop work meeting.
That's right. Fully fueled.
As Weary goes, and I think the Porsche is just about to leave as well.
Message from the
There he
engineer,
goes.
apparently.
Makes it, oh, he almost takes out. He almost takes out the P51 6 Sports tyre changer.
That's
He's,
I don't know that guy.
a
That's
bit of cheek there.
Steve. Steve
That's
almost got
my
hit,
best
man.
mate. How dare you?
I thought it was Frank, but anyway, I'll leave it to you
That's it,
guys.
straight to court.
You can see
That was close.
Weary's just come out. I love this. The battle between the top of 2 of each class are about the same gap, about 2, 3, 4 seconds between them, and they've come out amongst each other. Top 2 in both the classes.
Oh, this is holding Weary up, but not too
Jetto's
bad.
entitled
Jetto's
to
coming.
the racing line.
That's exactly right. But then also Darky's probably got Darky behind. I mean Datto. Darky's got Datto behind him.
Tim and Jack for Stewards review for an unsafe release.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I
could-
invited that guy to my wedding. He deserves at least a 6-lap penalty. It's a
I mean, I know I'm that guy's boss. Big crew, but I gotta ask the question: why was he out there in the first place when he knew the car was coming out? I'd have to do a bit of work health, a bit of WH&S
everyone.
review.
everyone
Oh,
gets
you know,
their,
you know what your reply you'll get from an Aussie. I see it, right? Don't know about it, mate.
everyone gets their envelopes for the bonus except for old mate there who's getting his notice to leave. It's
The French stewards are like, fix this, and I'm like, nah, should be right.
I tell you what, though, he got the biggest balls award. That's for sure.
Good stuff.
not all heroes wear capes.
That's right.
All right, so Datto still that 3 seconds and just managing that time. Just for this whole session, I reckon he's just going to just hold there and probably just follow Jetto. If he Jetto pits, I think Datto will, maybe.
Oh, they will be. Yeah, they'll pit at the same time again. That's just how
At
the
the end?
GT cars work. There's not too much difference in fuel. What do you call it? Fuel economy.
Yeah, okay.
And because the track is so large, even if there was a couple of litres, they run at about 6 litres, 7 litres anyway, so they get some mitigated. But I'll just have a look at the timing board. See the
Let's just
fastest
go and
laps.
have a quick look. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, 5 seconds to darky time penalty, so
Ooh.
that's going to be maybe a bit costly into who finishes in where in the end of this race.
That's it. We got the fastest lap was set by Weary Knight. Darky's 18 flat. Not too bad. At Lolax has done a 21.2, which is a pretty good time for that Toyota.
Yeah, that's right.
Meanwhile, in if you look on the left of your screen, that was a 55. Sorry, I thought it was a 54 for Jetto set last lap, but I was wrong. 54.8 for Jetto, 54.3 for Datto, 55.8 and 9 for Logical and Nürburger. Exactly 1/10 difference between them. And Slide Science in the 58 still.
Yeah, but he's managing that, and his previous lap there that he's doing was a 59, so he's in those.
That's right.
He's in that little time frame for the Porsche, just to keep motoring through and hopefully give Dark Lord something to chase. Which Dark Lord probably wouldn't like to have to chase as much as he's being given at the moment, but
He'll make it back.
Slide is definitely settling back in now into the game. Listen to the downshifts of this Toyota. And this is the number 6 notch motorsport.
Just lost Matty Seacon.
Oh, he just got a message there. Apparently the Xbox wants to rest, says Matty in the stream. So maybe a little bit of a reset.
I think he's gone downstairs to talk to that pit crew, to be honest.
He probably has.
I don't know
Need
whether
another,
he's. I don't know whether he's trying to see if he can get closer or. You see, sometimes they hit their own pit crew, but have you ever really seen them hit someone else's pit crew?
No, well that was pretty damn close, but it was good viewing too. So we're looking here, Lolux, just seeing what he can do. He's just managing to keep it under the 2-minute gap behind the leader.
That should give Huds a 30 if it stays the way it is. About 30 seconds, 30-second gap. But it also depends on how much fuel the boys put in the next stops as well. I assume everyone will fill it up, but who knows?
That's right. So that's the big telling point there, just where he is now. Around about 33 seconds or so will be the time compression, being 2 minutes behind. So it obviously opens it back up for session 3. Session 3 is another 2-hour race tomorrow morning, starting from 9 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time, and that'll be seeing the session running from 3 o'clock in the morning all the way to 1 PM in the afternoon in game, and then the final session we'll see it go obviously to 1 PM to 3 PM with the ×2 time compression over 1 hour.
And that session is hot.
It's very hot. It's clear weather, right in the peak of the hottest part of the day.
It's a heat wave for France. It's a winter's day for Australia.
Apparently, in real life, Germany's having a really hot time too. I think the MotoGPs are over there, and they said it was really hot yesterday. Watching a bit of the coverage.
Don't you wish they put the Nürburgring 24 on that week this weekend then? But considering it was only Nürburgring 9 hour or something.
Yeah, that's right. With all the fog and the rain that they had.
Unfortunate. That's just how it works in motorsport sometimes.
That's right.
On screen now,
so Nürburgring 15. He's out of sync, isn't he, with the pit stops? This is going to be interesting to see what happens throughout the remaining session, and also into the third session, then the final. So, because the final session, like the third session, they really want to probably finish on full tanks, but not all cars can make the full final session. I don't think the Corvette can.
I don't think any of the cars are going to be able to this
Porsche,
year.
Yeah, because I think the pace is that much faster. They're actually burning the fuel a little bit more. So that's where Nürburgring, even if he finishes on different fuel level in the final of the third session, Knowing that everyone has to pit in the final session, it could work for him as well with the mid-tank, whereas the guys who have full tanks, he may be able to gain a few little seconds on his opposition. He's obviously on the fight back now.
He is, but he's only got a logical sports 18 seconds up the road, so it's not game over yet. And I know Slide's 2.5 minutes down on him, but I think we'll be quite surprised that gap won't be that big between these two cars on come the restart tomorrow morning.
No, not at all.
I was about to say, yeah, the reason also, another thing you've got to think about is, in case these cars 4 minutes to do a lap, and if you want a full tank for that last session, if you cross the finish line with about 5.5 to go, maybe 5, that's when you'll have to pit if you want that, if you want a full tank for the next race, because you'd be risking us recording a fuel load that's an empty tank. Correct. If you leave it another lap.
That's right. So for the viewers that may not have seen the first session, we actually record the fuel level of all the cars. We start from the LMPHs and go through there.
That's going around.
That's around for Nürburgring.
The nose has come off.
He's now shining the lights on those marshals, and they don't want anything to do to know what's happening because he doesn't want to be waving flags and causing any problems tonight.
See on the track
they
map.
Look like typical Australian council workers, really, just standing there and turning a blind eye on some work.
What's the old saying? The old 2-to-1 ratio.
That's it. Yeah.
One working, two supervising.
That's exactly right. So Nürburgring's going to have to come in. It's not going to hurt him too much other than the wait time for all the damage, repairs. But he was due for fuel in the next few laps anyway. So, actually 2 laps, I would say. He would have only got one more lap. He would have
probably been
anyway.
in the next lap anyway.
Look, he can't even turn it. He's got to come straight through the sand.
We'll forgive him that time. His car was pretty damaged.
He doesn't get a penalty coming in. He sounded like he came in pretty hot too. So this is going to watch Slide Science. He just keeps going around. He'll see that tumble down. He's now seems to be fairly comfortable. That damage is from before, I think, in the car.
Hopefully that gains him about another minute or so. Let's stop. But Slide will have to pit. Oh, will he? Yeah. No,
well, he's going to have to pit.
No, if he wants Dark Lord for a full tank next session, but you might be able to get to the end with that. 95 litre tank, so he's only a third of the tank in, and we're about more than a third into this session. The hour, his fuel stint, sorry.
Yeah, I think the safe bet for them would be give who was saying is his teammate again? Sorry,
Dark Lord. But if you stayed out, he would gain even more time.
Yeah, only if he's got enough fuel for a few laps though. So that's one of the things you got to think of. The Porsche is probably going to be using around about that 6 litres a lap, something like that. Maybe 5.9, something like that. I think from memory, it's been a while since I've driven this Porsche. I think I drove it with Captain Cranky one year. Oh no, Illogical's. I mean, not Illogical. I'm trying to think who it was again.
Nürburgring's moving finally. Last year, was it? Or your year?
No, last year I was actually in the Toyota.
Yeah.
I'm just having a quick look.
I can tell you the Porsche lineup of last year. We had 2 Porsche running last year.
Yeah, well, Slide Science was in one of them.
Slide Science was with Timmy and Sato. And then the other one was Captain Cranky. And Speedy to Bandit.
Lockie 55s was the man that I was trying to think of that I ran with.
The Toyota?
Oh, that was last year, but then in 2000 oh no. We're just talking about Slide, how he could...
This looks different.
Like it's actually...
Want to get away from that?
This is a disconnect. No, I think that's a disconnect, unfortunately. So I wonder what laps that they would be actually on. Could you go to the timing monitors quickly for us?
Yep.
So that's 20 laps. at the moment. So we'll just see if he stays in there. But at least we got a record of 20 laps at the moment completed.
It's a tough blow for the Porsche team. Dark Lord had that car on rails. Fastest GTE time we've seen in the years.
Yeah, that's right. It was the fastest time we've ever seen, actually.
And he's gone.
There it goes. Yeah, it was only a matter of time, unfortunately. But anyway, back to the race here with Dado Racing now. Got it under 3 seconds.
Yeah, but Jetto found 2/10 last lap. Yeah, 2. There's...
I'm really hoping that we see a little bit of maybe a lead change here. Jetto's had it all his own way so far in this event. He's led from the start of the wave of the checker. Of the starting flag, I mean.
Dado has that smell of burnt E85 coming from the back of that Corvette in his nostrils. The two little lights down the bottom.
That's it. Firing it up.
He's coming. Dark Lord, asterisk, 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 that hurts.
Oh, definitely it would. It would be a tough one. But we'll see what happens in session 3 and session 4. They may be able to climb back for a podium, and that'll be a great comeback drive by the Porsche if they can. But just getting back to that time from Dark, look, he did 3:54.126 for qualifying in that Porsche.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable time.
He found another second from the practice the night before. He did a 55 too in that one, off by memory.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's, out of all the years that we've seen, the Porsches have only been managing to do the 58s roughly. I think there was a 57 there, maybe somewhere along the line. There's those flames for you, Cirrus, out of the Aston Martin. It's from both sides for the Aston.
Yeah, I believe Cranky was doing 56s when he was in the Porsche
Cranky,
last year,
yes.
But not very
okay.
consistently, not always.
So the time can be there, but as I said, a lot of it is all about, as you said, the finesse of how you turn the car in and how you maintain the speed, especially through the Porsche curves. And then you can get a lot of time through the Ford chicanes as well by using the actual curbs, jumping over them and limiting, like getting them right on the limit of where the track limits are.
That's it. Weary Knights extended his lead to 9 seconds while we were watching this GTE battle get closer and closer.
Oh, here comes one of the Toyotas. Not
The
only
Toyota.
Of the Notch Motorsport crew. Of Lolux. Geez, Huds did a good job in that Toyota too.
Yeah,
In the first session, he got a 20. Thought he could have got a little bit better than that. He was at 22.9, but he was doing 21s during some of the practice.
it's a tough car to go quick around here. And me and Jetto last year spent weeks in the car trying to get it under the 20s, and I think I got there once or twice, but it was difficult, and that's when we decided we're not going to be competitive enough to keep up with. Not only was the Audi the fastest car, but it had 4 of the fastest drivers in it, and we were not going to keep up. So we went,
That's exactly right.
we run in the GT class, and we didn't think we were going to be the favourites to win it, but when we jumped in for practice on Thursday night, Jetto and I were at the front. I think it also helps is we got used to travelling at 3 minutes 20 lap times. We jump in the GTE cars and we have all the time in the world to make sure the car's in the right spot on the track, hit the lines perfectly. I think that really helped, to be honest.
Yeah, you're probably
the corners
right there.
came at you way slower.
But then their own challenges arise too with the less aero as well on the cars, and you have to run a bit more aero and just try and keep them stable. There's obviously a little art to drive these cars, and as we can see, the more events that we've run the GTE cars in, that we're getting faster and faster as the drivers get used to it.
Oh, I went the wrong guy. This is getting
Look at that,
under 2 seconds
the
now.
wispy clouds in the night there, reflecting off the moon.
What a noise that comes from the two of these cars.
Oh, definitely the two loudest cars there running together, waking up all the campers.
Ooh, lost them a little bit of time there. That's the thing at these 24-hour events, you don't really, I mean you could, but if I was here, I'd just find my spot on the hill and lean back and close my eyes, even if I couldn't sleep, at least you're getting a bit of rest.
Have your bottle of port beside you, mate, and just sip away.
Actually, I remember I did a 24-hour kart race in Sydney in 2019, and the team were nice enough to give me
Is
a
that
couple.
moon for you?
Yeah, it is full, isn't it? Oh no, it's about half
three
moon.
quarters of it. Yeah, just
Yeah.
over half a moon, I guess.
Not like the lunar eclipse we had a few weeks ago.
That's right.
Don't know if all of Australia got to see that, but the East Coast did.
That's fair.
The gap's just
All
caught.
the camera people had their red lenses out, mate, to really capture the red. The lunar eclipse. The red moon, or whatever they called it.
Yeah, I think it was a blood moon. Might be.
Blood moon. Yeah.
Yeah, Jetto's that little mistake from Datto at Mulsanne hairpin blown out to over 3 seconds an hour.
They're all on the same sort of side of the circuit at the moment when you look at that track map.
Yep, the fans at the Mulsanne hairpin will be waiting a few minutes.
That's right.
Watching the
So
beam.
what's this we're looking at? The yellow light car. There's nothing else there. It's just the mystery car.
That's it. You
It's
can't.
the BMW.
You can't see what's behind the yellow lights. 27 minutes remain. Weary Night leads. 11 seconds over Dark, racing 40. Been a really good battle between these two. Weary's, what was the gap? About 14 seconds?
Oh, the wait time?
Yeah.
16, yeah.
16.
16 seconds behind. And he's going to probably almost put 16 seconds on Darky.
At this rate. Yeah, he's got another 2 seconds quicker the last lap. Olak's in third place of the LMP1 class. 2.5 minutes off the lead. Doing alright out. Pretty good out there. 3:30 in the last lap though. Could have been a bit of traffic. Actually, yeah, it looks like would have passed 3 GT cars.
Yeah.
Then in the outright 4th place at the moment, Jetto 13 and the number 60 RFH, I think it's RFH.
Yeah, it's the RFH Chevrolet Corvette.
Corvette. There's a lot about GT classes. All the entrants are in different makes at the moment, so he's in the Corvette. 2.5, 3 seconds back. Datto Racer in the Aston Martin Vantage V8.
He had a deficit of 18 seconds at the start of this session, so he's obviously bridged that by 15.
What did
Only
Jetto
3
win
seconds
by?
off.
40 seconds, 50 seconds?
He
the
won
last
by
race.
47. He won by 47 seconds, but for people for the time compression, how it worked, he was 54 seconds in front of Tim and Jack, which is Datto's teammate. And as we said, that time compression brought it down to 18 seconds. So it's really makes the drivers really think about it when a few things go wrong in their session, just to knuckle down and just keep going and just try and finish the best way that they can, and use that time compression to try and bring that car back into the contention again.
So, minute and 15 behind Datto is my car, the P51 Sim Sports GT BMW number 100, Logical Sports.
Oh, and a logical car.
Yep, but
I mean,
I'm in the the booth right now, Woody. It's not your car.
No, well, it's not my car at all. None of these are my car. I'd be a happy man if any of them were. But anyway, I'm resorted back to the commentary booth at the moment.
Yeah, we had a restart time of 40 seconds, but we got into a heaps good battle at the start with Nürburger and Slide Science, and managed to break away from that, but we had a spin in there, and obviously the fuel fiasco. I thought at the
lost
time.
a little bit of time there.
I thought at the time my car might not be here where it is now. I thought it might be parked up somewhere, probably around the Porsche curves.
Yeah, third in class at the moment, so not doing a bad job.
No, we've lost about 30 seconds compared to from our restart time, but that's okay. It'll bring us around. Well, it's a gain. It's a gain. That should bring us under 30-second restart.
Yeah.
And then we have Nürburger, 2 minutes down on logical. Now that car's been in twice for repairs. But like I said,
we'll go to the end now with a bit more fuel.
He's there
left over.
Only solo driver at the moment, so we might be feeling a bit of fatigue out there. We're already doing 2.5 hours earlier, plus the qualifying.
That's right.
And he had to learn a new car on Friday, pretty much. Thursday. Yeah, it was Thursday.
Yeah, unfortunately, obviously, people that may not know, I was actually teaming up with him in the number 2 Porsche 919 Hybrid. And obviously, a back injury to myself has stopped me from being able to do anything in my sim rig.
Oh, hope you.
So anyway, so last call was for him to see if he wanted to do it solo or go to GTE, and he said, well, honestly, he thought that it was going to be just too hard to try and manage the LMPH for the 6 hours. So he's gone to the GTE and picked up a nice drive there in his Ford. But oh no, I can't believe it's not a Ferrari.
In the Ferrari Ford. Oh, do you reckon Enzo Ferrari and Henry Ford?
The only other person obviously not here at the moment, as we just had a disconnect probably around about 10 minutes ago, was Slide Science in the Porsche number 91 Porsche Racing. He actually started second in class tonight, only 17 seconds. He was 1 second in front of Dado on the restart. But he was soonly gobbled up between that battle that you said earlier with Nürburger and Illogical Sports, or I should say your car. And then your car was following the Porsche, and your car spun it.
My car.
So unfortunately, the BMW though is still going to find itself, as you said, probably around about that, or under 30 seconds maybe, off the lead in session 3. So you're obviously going to have a little bit of a challenge in front of yourself to try and get that car within striking distance for the final session. Later tomorrow afternoon.
I love a good challenge, but what's just popped up on my screen is a little indicator icon telling me there is a battle in progress, and here it is, under a second now. Dado's caught the back of Jet in 13, and now we go to turn up the heat.
Here we go. This is what we wanted to come here and see. Session 2. We haven't had too many battles, but we've got a good one here for class victory.
Saw Jetto
not victory, class leader, I should say.
Jetto got really
He breaks early here, doesn't he?
Well, I can understand why. He's playing it safe. You don't need to throw it in at this stage of the race, especially when you're this close to the lead. Just keep doing what he was doing.
Isn't it just a little bit of an ego thing, just to be able to maybe make that move and just put make a point to the Corvette team?
Well, he's got 20. He's got 21 minutes plus the better part of another lap as well to do this. I'm not sure what the driving schedule is for Dado. I don't know if he'll be going to the end. I don't know if he'll do the next one or if he'll do the last one. And Tim, I don't know when Tim might be getting back in the car, but he'll be wanting to put Tim in. He'll be wanting to put that car in top.
In the morning.
Yep, that sounds pretty conventional for Dado. Normally does 2 and 4. But yeah,
Darky was saying that when he interviewed Dado earlier in the week, that they did find that they had to brake a little bit earlier than some of the other cars, especially into Indianapolis. So that's probably why the car's stronger in other places.
it is. Its weakness is that Porsche curves, and obviously braking into these hard braking areas too. But once it has a bit of open space, it's the fastest car out there in the straight.
I tell you what, these two will be loving this race at the moment. They've been in a battle for a good half of it, and be keeping them entertained, that's for sure.
I think Jeddah will be starting to sweat a little bit. You see his lap times, both of them last two laps are in the 57s, 56. Dado did a 54 lap before the previous. So it's all in the palm of the hand for Dado. He's just got to execute it.
That's right, and his Illogical Sports is just coming out of those Ford chicane, the Porsche curves, I should say. Yeah, into the Ford chicane area now.
He's matching the lap times of Jeddah at the moment. I'm happy with that gap. I wanted him to, rather than try and push and crash more, so just maintain that gap. I feel like I'm a bit more comfortable in the BMW than he is. It was also my call to change cars. I apologise to him. He's just started to sort out that Corvette, and I said, hey, I want to get a bit more makes and models in this race. Try out this BMW. I got it to go all right, and it took him a few days, but he's got it into the 54s. So, but yeah, he's telling me it's not so comfortable in it. It's a bit unpredictable sometimes. We've really tuned it a lot.
Yeah, but that can happen sometimes as well. With this ×5 time progression too, you do get the change in the track happening. Sometimes a little bit funny.
Dado's very tight on the way
if you
there.
had it on real time.
Jeddah very loose on the exit. See his car point straight to the inside on the way out.
Yeah.
So this is when I noticed it in the Corvette, and I noticed it in my long runs in the BMW. Under 30 litres. Oh, he's getting a hell of a wheel shake.
Yeah,
Tyres are on the way out. And it's tough.
Maybe you might find we'll see him in the pits this lap.
No, he'll go till the fuel's out. That'd be off strategy.
He doesn't want to be spinning. Yeah.
That's right, but the fix for that is just to back it off a little bit. This is the toughest part of the tyre life. It's also, the times don't drop off that much. As you can see, Dado's still in the 55s because the weight's come out of the car. But it's so crazy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Especially the Porsche curves is the hardest part of the track. And Tetra Rouge, the tyres how they are. I don't know about those boys, but on the G29 Logitech wheel, it's getting a lot of wheel shake, and it's unpredictable. Watch, I reckon he won't be able to keep it tight through this right-hander. I was on the wrong car. Yeah, he's drifted out a bit to the middle. Dado kept it tighter. He's actually living the lift off.
Yes, maybe it was actually, when he ran off there, we weren't know. Maybe he was just looking at his, selecting his right pit strategy and all that for later on. Because sometimes that happens. You take your eye off the road because you're looking down at the on-screen display, whatever it is, the driver's display to change your pit strategies and stuff. It's so easy to run off the road in the areas.
That's it. It doesn't take much. Not much fuel difference between them two. Even I think the Aston Martin has forget how big its tank is in the Aston, but I know that the Corvette's is 89 litres.
Yeah, okay, but look at Nürburgring too. He's sort of a minute 15 or so off Illogical. After Illogical had to have that.
Sorry, I just saw Jeddah put two wheels off the grass.
Pit Illogical, or he did go with a pit in the Illogical?
He did. He's got an extra lap on, that's why he's got 7 litres. It's at 27 compared to these guys. Remember, he was coasting it, clutching it.
Yeah. That's right.
That was the scariest part of my race. I'd rather have probably crashed the car, to be honest. Or if he didn't make it, it'd be race over pretty much. It would be 10 minutes restart time and kiss the podium goodbye pretty much. Or maybe, but we would still try, but
would have been hard.
We'd need a lot to go our way, yeah. Tim and Jack said that would do session 4 in the chat, so...
we've got Highlander, Mr. Highlander, how you going, mate? So, yeah, unfortunately we haven't, would have been good to have seen them maybe running it around in the LMPH cars, but see, life got in the way between Highlander and
Dado's cooked it.
Oh, Dado! No, you can thank Slide Science for taking out that bollard early in the race. You've been able to go straight through the middle of them.
Both did 55s on the last lap.
Yeah, well, Nürburgring's been going well. He just had a couple of little moments. He had a couple of spins and a bit of a crash here and there as he was pushing. So has Commander Sirius's car with Logical driving it.
My car.
My car. Yeah, sponsored by my car.
I feel like that lady in the Shannon's ad. They're like, oh, you know, this is my classic Ford, and then, or maybe it's a bike or something, and she's like, oh, that's mine. Oh, that's mine.
That's mine, yeah.
Yeah, it was very heavily focused on the cameras on the battle for third and GT class earlier with Logical, Nürburgring and Slide Science. Then we turned our attention to the lead of the outright, and Weary Knight closed that gap down to Darky. Then we finally come back to this GT battle with Dado's pulled in an 18-second lead to be only, well, he was half-second a few corners ago.
That's right, yeah.
But he's still here.
The tyres sometimes come and go too, I notice sometimes in different parts of the race from memory, so the better part when Dado caught him, maybe that was the better part of his tyre life, and he's maybe struggling a little bit now.
They're the worst around now, but they've also, the cars are at their lightest, so their lap times don't drop too much, but the car gets more unstable.
Yeah, so you've got to concentrate a lot more, and that's another thing, the fatigue. We haven't talked about that, or we have talked about it, but that's another reason, telling factor that Dado may be dropping off a little bit here as well. He pushed pretty hard there for those, probably the last 15 minutes to really put a challenge on Jetto. And just now probably conceding and just consolidating that gap, really, just to give himself another reset for Tim and Jack for the next session tomorrow morning.
Nürburgring 4:02 the last lap. He's on the cusp of going a lap down.
Yeah, so those cars just behind him, they're both Jetto and Dado, isn't it?
Yep. Here comes Jetto. It's coming in towards Tetra Rouge, and Dado just behind. Dado really wants to lead this session. You can see it. He's pushing the car a little bit too hard at the moment, running a bit wide. As you can see, Jetto's now going to go over lap. Nürburgring.
Yeah. Bit deflating probably for Nürburgring, but at least he can have a nice nap, a nice sleep tonight, and he'll probably find that he will only be, you know, within a good shot of doing a good run in session 3. The only man doing a solo run over the full 6 hours of racing.
That's true. 55 again for Jetto on the last lap. As Weary Knight's in.
So over
there you go. That's you see, Darky lost a lot of time in the last stop, and that's why, because he's got the extra fuel on board. He can do another 2, maybe 3 laps. Not too sure.
Yeah. So this is going to help for their different fuel levels, especially come to probably session. This is the telling factor, actually. You've got another 2-hour session tomorrow morning.
That's right.
Knowing that it really pans out with the fuel for the 2 hours, Darky and Sato in the Porsche are going to probably end up having a good 20 odd litres extra of fuel,
That's it.
which will give them a good, well, that's probably 5, or maybe not quite 5 laps. Yeah, around 5
Eventually-
laps of extra running.
They would have gained time on a pit stop. That's why
Yeah,
it's really
it's
important for Weary to make that 16-second gap. Because eventually
Yeah.
he'll have to pull a gap big enough for a pit stop for the Porsche, but that every time that happens, it brings the Porsche back into the game.
And that's just it. The Porsche may just do that one less stop over the total race distance as well. Knowing all, basic Weary's they've already had to make an extra pit stop in the first session.
Well,
after
that's it.
Matty did the 2 stops compared to the 1 for the other 2 LMPH cars.
If Matty had done that properly, because obviously he had his accident, and I think he said he could have done better in our chat afterwards too, but he said if he'd done it properly and he did that short fill earlier, obviously Weary would have had a lot less time to catch up, and he would have
I believe, wasn't it that they said, didn't they say that also they were 10 litres short of the fuel that he did actually set or something? There was
That's
something
true.
weird
That's
that went on there.
that's right. He did say that. But yeah,
So I think this,
sh-
I
'cause
think
they
it really has been a good start, hasn't it, with the fuel
I
load
like it.
being carried over.
It adds
compared to
another
previous
element
years
to
where
the
they can
race.
just start with full fuel. Yeah,
Because it used to be just fill it up, GTE for example, full tank, set of tyres for the 1 hour session, you don't even change them in the stop, and you'd splash it if you're in any other car except the Porsche where then you might go to the end. That was the advantage of running the Porsche. Now, that's mitigated, and this is what I
here
mean.
comes Jetto, and where's Dado? Dado should be following in as well. Yep,
That's
he's
right.
in.
It looked like gap looked a bit bigger, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it is grown a little bit.
This will actually help the BMW.
So the BMW is a car that can probably run a full session almost with a bit of fuel saving. Yes or no? Not
don't
much fuel
think
saving,
so.
but if you
It's doing 6.9 litres a lap here, which I'm hearing is the most of any of the GT cars, but obviously it also has a bigger
but
fuel
lot more
tank.
fuel.
Not
Yeah.
that much more. 101, the Porsche's 95. I'm not sure on the Aston, but we'll find out. Lolux is in too.
So
Aston
all
has
the,
more than 70 to 90, a bit more than 90 I think. Around 100 and 105 I was expecting. Oh no, 95,
Lolux
that's it.
pulling up. So logical, I mean Jetto's already rolled out.
Something's happened to Dado. Oh
Yeah,
no,
Jetto's obviously
Jetto didn't do tyres.
changed. Yeah, so Datto's obviously done tyres, so that's a bit weird late on in the race. Maybe it's just a safety net for him.
Might be. Last year I didn't do tyres and it was a very sketchy 7 minutes, but I did do them because I had so much of a lead. However, the plan was not to do them last year. I think
Yeah, right.
Jetto's running the same strategy we're running last year, pretty much to the dot. I pitted with 8 minutes to go.
So you're saying they haven't changed tyres at all? They didn't change tyres at the hour?
Oh, they changed tyres at the hour. They wouldn't have changed it then
Yeah,
because
okay.
it's only 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, right.
So Datto is only 6 seconds from logical.
So Logical's going to pit, but he's going to be able to have obviously that little bit extra fuel than everyone.
And he's going to come in.
Not that-
I hope he pits. I hope he doesn't stay out. I hope he's paying attention this time.
Yeah,
I
he's
want
got,
him
he's
to
got
pit.
pit this lap. Yeah, he needs to pit this lap.
And will give me a full tank for tomorrow. Which might come in handy come the last stint. Might have to put less
Yeah.
fuel in the session 4 than some of the other guys.
You never know, eh?
That's it. Still got another 2 hours before that happens, and anything can happen in that session.
Well, we're not quite halfway in this race yet at the moment. It's almost reaching 3 a.m. in the morning in game. You can see it's starting to get that little bit lighter. It's not as dark as what it has been in the summertime. over in France, and we've only got 5.5 minutes remaining of this second session. So that would have been 3 hours in total that the guys have been running. They ran an hour session earlier this afternoon and then had a break, and then we've come back to start session 2.
Who got a pen and paper there, Woody, for the fuel list, or do you want me to write them down?
No, I will. All we'll do is what we did last time. Darky just read them out through the order, and I just wrote the numbers down.
All right, I can do that.
But we do have about 2 minutes or so remaining.
Just thought I'd remind us, in case you wanted me to write them. I'll go grab a pen and paper, but you're already ready to go.
So Darky's coming in this lap.
He'll probably only be 2 litres from, 2 or 3 litres from full when we go to write down the times, but I expect him to come out behind Weary.
Yeah, he definitely will be behind Weary.
Also expecting he will definitely be in this lap. The logical will be in very close to that 2 minutes. Very close.
Oh, just running it up on the outside, which a lot of cars do when they just get a little bit wrong. So here comes Darky in for his stop.
Don't think Weary Knight did tyres because he came out only 26 seconds behind Darky. Oh, Weary's coming in. He's going to top the tank up. That's actually a good call. It mitigates what we were saying before.
Yeah, that's
this will be a short stop.
It's all, people might be thinking why he's doing this, but it's all about the final session. If he didn't go out and they're starting on lower fuel, obviously it would have benefited the Porsche to try and eke out a little bit for the final session, where they may have been able to one stop short.
And yeah, the time compression will bring him right back in on his bumper.
So that's going to give Darky obviously the session lead. He hasn't been in the lead for over an hour, Darky. So it's been a long time. He led the first 40 minutes or so, was it? Roughly until can't remember when we took the lead.
I thought it was after the hour mark.
Oh, okay.
Could have been, yeah, it was around then. Because I was worried about the number 100 BMW. Yeah. What I noticed just before too, Darky almost killed the tyre changer, but I think this time Weary killed one of his. He just drove straight through.
Okay, I'm just writing the names down now in the order of where they're standing at the moment. There's a logical scene for his pit stop, which will keep Nürburgring a bit closer to Nürburgring.
Nürburgring will be probably that dot on his own on the other end of the circuit. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, we can go through the litres here. So you just read them out so I don't have to look at them.
60 litres for Darky.
We round up, please.
Oh, sorry, 61.
So just go up one. Yep.
Weary, 49.
Yep.
Low Lux, 56.
Yes.
Jetto, 80. Or 81. He was on 80.0 when I read it out.
Yeah, so 81. Yep.
Dado, 86.
Yep.
Logical Sports, 101.
Yep.
Nürburgring, 38.
38, or is that 36?
Sorry, 36. Sorry, stuffed that up.
36. That's all right. 36 litres. Done. All right. So we'll sit back and watch this last minute.
This will be the last lap.
See how it all pans out.
Darky, 11 seconds on Weary Knight. Oh, I see that understeer push there.
Yeah,
it's pointing towards the end.
Yeah. It's just
he's pushing
hard. Yeah, trying to get a little bit of a gap that he can manage from Weary Knight, which is going to have that 10-second lead he's got. It's probably only going to have Weary only about 3-second wait time.
So Dado, he's lost a lot of time by changing
Putting those tyres on. Yeah.
Look, and even Illogical Sports has gained 10 seconds on him.
And where's Nürburgring in relation to Illogical?
Another minute and 15, 12 down.
So is he on the same lap there now? He is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not a lap down anymore. So Darky comes across, takes out session 3, completing 35 laps.
35, yep.
Yep.
Because that means he's just on his 36 there now. The 35 laps.
Here he comes across. Lowluck's already finished. And here comes Jetto. Takes 2 in a row as well. In the GTE class.
Yeah. Nice run by Jetto. Again. He had a lot of challenge there by this man, Dado Racer. In the 48 Besman car. But they're still looking very strong as well.
They're definitely not out.
They're definitely not out of it, and we don't know what Colonel Lloyd has up his sleeves yet. He's been he hasn't talked much even in the practice either, so we don't know if he's been foxing his times or not, but yeah, we'll soon find out, because it's the moment of truth for him will be maybe the next session, I'd say.
And it's great to see all the GT cars, all those white dots, they're on the same lap. And they'll also complete the same amount of laps, being behind the Jetto was behind Darky.
Yep. So that's worked out really well. And Darky's his time would have been reduced as well when we get end of retirement, because remember he had a penalty of about 4 seconds or so, 5 seconds
true.
I think it was.
That is true.
So that's actually going to bring it even closer. So there's going to be nothing in it at the start of
that's
the
probably why he was
session.
pushing like a mad dog on that last lap.
Third session, not the first session. Yeah, exactly. He's illogical. He's
flash or crash.
Flash or crash, but he's probably got a bit of mixed results there. I reckon he's he knows he could have done better there.
Yeah, he does.
In this session,
he won't be too happy with himself. I think he'll be thankful that it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, but he's had a good run. He had a good run in the first session as well. He was in the thick of battles all day. He had a beautiful battle with Nürburgring. They were side by side through the Porsche curves once or maybe even twice. And mate, that would have been probably his highlight.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch that again, because I could only listen to it. I'm excited.
So Nürburgring's the last man to finish this lap, which he's done really well though. Even the damage that he had, he was a lap down at one stage from the GTE of Jetto, and he's been able to, because of the different fuel strategy that he's had, he's been able to stay on the same lap as the GTE cars.
That's right. That's right. And you got to spare a thought for the Porsche team, Dark Lord Slide Science.
Exactly.
Running second in that session 1. Yep, and a disconnect.
Disconnect after 20 laps with about 34 minutes remaining. But the time compression is going to bring them back in. It's not even going to be 10 minutes. Their wait time might only be 6 minutes or so, or not to 5. I don't know. As it's a trigonometry, the further behind you are, the more benefit you get from it.
That's true.
So that's another thing that Nürburgring will be enjoying to see once we get those up for him. He won't be as far back as what he really thinks he is, which is almost a lap. He'll end up coming in within just over a minute or so, maybe a minute and a bit, I reckon. Maybe a minute.
Yeah.
Of wait time.
There you go, 4 seconds at the end there, Woody.
Yeah, that's 8. Oh, he ended up getting an extra penalty, Darky, as well.
I thought that too. You might have had more. There you go.
So there you go. So after we know that it says 35 laps there, but in total we've done 53 laps. So the live score after 53 laps at the moment is Dark Racing 40 with only a 4.7 second lead, and with the time compression, that's only going to be probably 1 or 2, probably 2 seconds actually difference from Weary Knight in the number 6 Notch Motor.
He's number 7.
Motorsport. Hey.
Weary Knight's in the number 7.
Weary Night, sorry, number 7 P51 Sim Sports car, and then Lolux in the number 6 Notch Motorsport Toyota. And then down on 30 laps, not 30, we're plus the 16, so they're on 46 laps of the GTEs is Jetto 13. And then Dado Racer behind him, 30 seconds. And then we'll have a Logical Sports, what's that about, whatever that will be.
It's about a minute 10 when I was last saw before they crossed the line,
Yeah.
minute 10, minute 15.
And Nürburgring roughly, or just under a lap sometimes, so around about 3 minutes or so, something like that. 3 minutes 20 odd. So it's not too bad for the GTE class. It's all on for session 3. So
Yep.
I've been your host, Woody Lizard, and alongside me, Commander Cirrus. Thanks, buddy.
No worries, mate. Yeah, I love heading into the box and Le Mans and, yeah, working the chops.
Wish you all the best in my car. Your car, my car, whatever you want to say, for session 3 and 4.
I'll put your picture in there for you, and it could be your car as well.
Thank you very much. Okay. So we're ANZCRL Combined Racing League. All your sim racing on the Xbox Project Cars 2 for Australian New Zealand races. Come and do a search on Google, ANZCRL. You'll see where we are. Socials on Facebook as well, Instagram, and our own website there. So, and on YouTube where you can see all our broadcasts where they get archived there. So if you're a sim racer on the Xbox in Australia, New Zealand, come and hit us up. Come and join us. We've got a lot of things coming out for the rest of the remainder of the year, and we hope to see you tomorrow morning from 9 o'clock in the morning for session 3. Cheerio.
See ya.